What did Puff do to piss you the off? How did he do you dirty if he did you dirty? And what is doing dirty if fucker put you on?
That's really good. Let me take my shades off for that.
Mase had everyone in a chokehold. He was one of the most successful artists from Diddy's label, Bad Boy Records, making him one of Diddy's biggest cash cows. But just like many artists before him, some things happened and that led to his downfall, leaving him flat broke without a penny to his name. And even to this day, Mase blames Diddy for manipulating and killing his career. So what went wrong? And will Diddy ever apologize for what he did to Mase? Let's break it all down.
So why should we keep these same gatekeepers who have done nothing but exploited us and used our talents against us for their own gain and their children? Until then, I'm signing off. This is Mase. This is Mason Betha. However you know me, it's how you know me.
Okay, so it all started when Mase dropped out of his college to pursue his music career full time. In 1996, his sister Stacey introduced him to Kuda Love, a road manager for the Notorious B.I.G. Kuda, who then took Mase to Atlanta, where he freestyled for both Jermaine Dupri and Diddy. Now, even though Jermaine made Mase an offer to sign to his label, the offer that Diddy made was so juicy that Mase could not refuse to join Bad Boy Records, a $250,000 contract with $50K upfront. Immediately after getting signed, he appeared in the video of 112's song, Only You, alongside Notorious B.I.G. He also made an appearance on Diddy's single, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, and Been Around the World, and Biggie's Mo Money, Mo Problems, which reached #1 on the Billboard's Hot 100. His debut album, Harlem World, was also a massive hit, selling 275,000 copies in the first week in the US. He also had a lot of writing credit on Diddy's and the family's joint album, No Way Out. Now, with all these records he was selling, coupled with the royalties that were rolling in for writing all these hits for Diddy, you would think Mase was drowning in the dollar bills, y'all. But he wasn't. And one of the first people to notice it was Biggie. Because just like Mase, Biggie also signed an awful contract with Bad Boy Records at the start of his career. Biggie's mom spilled the tea about this when she revealed in her memoir that Biggie only received $25,000 when he signed to Bad Boy. But Biggie was not about to sit down and watch Diddy screw Mase over too. See, Biggie owned a marketing company called Undeas Recording and Entertainment alongside Lance Rivera. His company was also managing big acts like Lil' Kim and Lil' Cease. And in an effort to help Mase make money, since a huge percentage of his earnings were going right into Diddy's pocket, Biggie told Lance to give Mase $30,000 to write 5 songs for Lil' Cease. Around this time, there was also a lot of tension going on due to the East Coast and West Coast beef. Mase tried to play it safe by remaining neutral and rubbing shoulders with both sides, but that became harder due to the tension between Bad Boy and Death Row, which turned deadly after Tupac was shot and killed. About 6 months later, Biggie went to LA to shoot a music video and do a few press runs for his upcoming album. He decided to spend one more night after he was done so he could attend the Soul Train Awards. But things took a dark turn when some guys from Death Row told Mase that the beef was still very much on. And Mase, he felt suspicious that something awful might happen. Mase then spilled the tea to Diddy, but Diddy didn't take it seriously. And just 24 hours later, Biggie was shot 4 times while out in LA. Biggie's death really affected Mase, since Biggie was one of the only people who was really looking out for him. Mase went on to release his album Harlem World, which has since sold over 4 million copies in the US. With Biggie gone and no one to look out for him, he started looking for ways to make money outside of Bad Boy. He formed his own group called Harlem World and created his own record label called All Out Records alongside Jermaine Dupri. He then signed his group Harlem World as the first act under his label. The group went on to release their debut album, The Movement, in 1999. He then appeared on the Funkmaster Flex radio show to promote his second album, Double Up. But during that interview, Funk received an exclusive that Mase was stepping out from the music after the release of Double Up. And when Mase was asked if retirement claims were true, this is what he had to say.
Gotta do what make me happy. You know, a lot of people gonna say I'm crazy, I'm leaving money behind and a lot of things. But it's just, you know, how I feel in my heart. Once God puts something in your heart, you know, God talks to everybody different.
After Mase pulled the plug on his rap career, he went back to college and later became a pastor. He settled with a lady called Twyla, and together they started their own church. But just like all the good things that come into Mase's life, his life as a pastor and his marriage was short-lived. Shortly after quitting his career as a pastor, Mase went back to the studio and started rapping again. He made a comeback with his 2004 album titled Welcome Back, and even tried to cut a deal with 50 Cent's label G-Unit Records. But once again, Diddy was standing in the way. 50 revealed that Diddy was asking for $2 million in order to free Mase from his Bad Boy contract, but he was only willing to pay $1 million. He said $2 million. I was like, Mase ain't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket. Are you crazy? So after this deal fell through, coupled with his comeback album being a massive flop, Mase stepped out from the rap game yet again. A lot of rumors started swirling up about the reasons he quit doing music. According to some reports, Mase left because he was scared he was going to be the next person who would be killed if he kept associating with Diddy. This rumor wasn't far-fetched because Diddy had a lot of enemies, and if they couldn't get to Diddy, they would come for someone close to him. Mase made a comeback again in 2009 to finally put an end to the misery Diddy had been putting him through. While Diddy was on a press tour with his group Dirty Money, Mase pulled up on them and confronted Diddy with a bunch of papers. According to some people who were present, he demanded for Diddy to sign the papers so he could be free from Bad Boy Entertainment. Surprisingly, Diddy signed the papers, and just like that, Mase was free from Diddy after fighting for his freedom for over a decade. But see, the BS wasn't quite over yet, because the papers Diddy signed granted Mase freedom for just a year. Yep, Mase was free for just a year, y'all. It wasn't until 2012 when he and Diddy finally reached an agreement, and he was finally free for good this time. He even made an appearance alongside Diddy for the Bad Boys reunion tour in 2016. But don't get too excited, because they went right back to their feud in 2020 when Mase put Diddy on blast for only paying him $20,000 for his time at Bad Boy Records and refusing his $2 million offer to buy his publishing rights unless he was able to match up with the offer of a certain European investor who was offering more. But Mase didn't end it there. He also threw some shots at Diddy in his song, The Oracle. He raps, "We ain't gang, we ain't goes, we ain't family, we ain't foes, and we definitely not bros. We ain't nothing." Diddy clapped back at Mase and denied ever taking money from him during a sit-down interview with The Breakfast Club.
There has been negative propaganda put out about me that's not true, and has really tried to stain my legacy. I've always been a person, I don't like to get in just talking people's business and things like that. More money than a person was making. So when I hear or I see things.
Diddy wasn't done yet. He also called Mase a fake pastor and a con artist.
You know, I did one album with Mase. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album, and then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people And then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name?
He also claimed Mase owed him $3 million. According to Diddy, Mase was given a $3 million advance to make a second album under Bad Boy. But since his second album was not successful, he never got the $3 million back.
That's facts. I got the receipt.
Second album, you gave money to do a second album, never delivered.
Did the album, never delivered. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go back and forth with Mase.
But people were not buying Diddy's version of the story and still accused him of ruining Mase's career. This person said, Love, Diddy, Puffy, Fruity, or whatever he calls himself, is the worst human being in hip-hop. He is the devil he complains about. There isn't an artist that he hasn't robbed or exploited. Another person jumped in and said, it's crazy that Diddy can give Young Miami over $200K a month, but can't even right the wrongs with the people that helped him get where he is today. I don't know one song he sings by himself, so he's clearly not the mastermind he thinks he is. But now I want to know your thoughts on this whole fiasco. How do you feel about Mase exposing Diddy for exploiting him and leaving him broke? Do you think that he'll ever forgive Diddy for ruining his career? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to click here and watch another messy video.